Hello and welcome from Budapest. This is Hungary Reports from Public Media M1's Foreign Language News Hour. I'm Árpád Szőci with the latest from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin. Thanks for joining us. Hungarian divers are still searching the Danube River for missing people after two boats collided in Budapest near the Hungarian Parliament building in what is being called one of the biggest boating disasters ever in Europe. A mid-sized tourist boat traveling northbound and carrying 33 South Korean passengers was hit from behind by a much larger tourist boat, sinking within seconds. 7 are confirmed dead, 7 were rescued, and 21 are still missing.
This police footage shows what happened in the moments leading up to the accident. The two ships, the larger cruiser named Viking Sijin and the smaller sightseeing boat, the Mermaid, are traveling north towards the Margaret Bridge. Then a small tourist boat goes in front of the larger ship and they collide. The tourist boat flips onto its side and sinks in about 7 seconds right under the bridge. And this is different footage of the accident recorded by the webcam of the weather service site Időkép. The collision of the two ships can also be seen in the time-lapse video. The larger red circle indicates the ship that hit the smaller tourist boat, the Mermaid, which is also circled in red. Later, the two ships can hardly be seen under the Margaret Bridge. At 9:15 p.m., the Activity Control Center received a report of the collision of two ships near the Margaret Bridge. Firefighters, ambulances, policemen, divers, volunteers, and different rescue teams arrived at the scene and immediately started a massive rescue and search operation. After the accident, civilians from other surrounding boats also helped with the rescue. 14 passengers were removed from the water, but 7 were already dead. The search is still underway for 19 passengers and the 2 Hungarian crew members. Authorities currently list them as missing. For the time being, the cause of the accident is unknown, with no indication so far pointing to a possible technical failure. An expert told M1 News the tragic accident might have happened due to human error. He believes there might have been many factors that made it difficult to maneuver, but it was more than likely that someone didn't comply with navigation rules. The navigation regulations also state that if I'm in the right-of-way position, but I see the risk of collision, I have to do everything to avoid a collision, although I'm in the right position, the naval engineer said. Wreckage of the sunken Mermaid was found last night by the sonar of the fireboat just a few meters from the Margaret Bridge.
And it's been more than a day now since search crews began scouring the Danube River to try to find the 21 people still missing. The search has now extended well down the river all the way to the Serbian border. Some experts also think that some of the victims might have gone down with the boat when it sank, caught in the wreckage. And as for the 7 so far who have survived, authorities say they are doing well considering the circumstances. 6 of the 7 known survivors have already been released from hospital. Hungarian President János Áder, Prime Minister Viktor Orbán, and Parliamentary House Speaker László Kövér all expressed their condolences about the boat tragedy. They also stated that Hungarian authorities will do everything in their power to find survivors and to ensure a speedy recovery for those who were sent to hospital. The Hungarian government says that the results of the European parliamentary elections give the ruling Fidesz party and its coalition partner, the Christian Democrats, a big boost in their European political disputes. That's what the head of the Prime Minister's office said on the government's website. Gergely Gulyás pointed out that that means the government has been given a mandate to represent a Europe of nations, to maintain its anti-immigrant stance, and to continue protecting Europe's Christian culture, all of which he cited among the government's most important goals. He added that Hungary will support only those politicians who also share those views.
We can satisfy Manfred Weber's desire by no longer supporting him to be the president of the European Commission. With regard to Franz Timmermans, we can say that we have done everything in Hungary to prevent George Soros from forming a government. Thus, we do not want that to happen to Europe either.
The government is postponing indefinitely its introduction of public administration courts, said the head of the Prime Minister's office. Gergely Gulyás said on the government website that although the government believes the new laws meet EU standards, The new recommendations have become the center of international criticism, which the government considers unfounded, especially when it comes to questioning the independence of judges.
We consider the issue of judicial independence a top priority. Therefore, as always, we are still open to these issues, and until these discussions cannot reach a satisfactory conclusion, the government will postpone the introduction of the administrative court system without any deadline. We will submit the concerning legislative amendments to the Parliament today.
And the government announced more tax cuts and incentives as part of its Economic Protection Action Plan. It's especially meant to help citizens and small enterprises as part of the government's strategy to maintain the country's economic growth.
According to first quarter results, Hungary's economy had the strongest showing in the entire European Union, announced Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán on Monday in Parliament. He added that while the EU's overall results weren't exactly rosy, with growth in the older states slowing down. I consider that maintaining an average continuing economic growth rate of 2% over that of the European Union as a realistic target, and so in the interest of making that come true, I have just submitted an Economic Protection Action Plan to Parliament, the Prime Minister said. The plan was then accepted at the government session held on Wednesday. It includes such things as simplifying tax returns, reducing some taxation, and incorporating certain taxes, said the Hungarian Minister of Economy on the government's website. Mihály Varga said that tourism has also played a major role in Hungary's economic growth. He added that the government has decided to reduce hotel sales tax from 18% to 5%. Mihály Varga believes that by doing that, hotel rooms will become cheaper for tourists. The minister announced that the Economic Protection Action Plan includes reducing social contributions by 2% starting July the 1st. This year, that would mean savings of about 444 million euros to companies. Next year, that would become more than 480 million euros for companies. Starting next year, January the 1st, taxation for small businesses will be reduced from 13% to 12%. And they want to strengthen the stimulation of home construction and investments in small settlements, added Mihály Varga, saying that people involved in such improvements could get VAT refunds of up to some 15,000 euros. The minister pointed out that the Economic Protection Action Plan has superseded its results. Therefore, it's necessary to now improve Hungary's economic competitiveness and effectiveness.
And Japanese investment in Hungary has also contributed to strengthening the economy, as can be seen in first quarter growth in GDP. That's what Hungary's Foreign Affairs and Trade Minister said at an event by the Hungarian Investment Promotion Agency held for Japanese investors. Péter Szijjártó said that more than 160 countries from the Far East have invested in Hungary, employing 34,000 Hungarians.
Relations between Japan and Hungary have never been as stable, balanced, and especially as effective as today. The main secret of that, I think, is that relations between Hungary and Japan, as well as the cooperation between the Hungarian and the Japanese people, have always been based on mutual respect.
About 120 programs await visitors to Kaposvár in southern Hungary over the next few days at its Ripple-Rónai festival, named after famous artist József Ripple-Rónai. Events include concerts and light shows with exhibitions on various subjects also spread out across the city, such as on the main walkway closed to traffic. And on Sunday, one of the highlights is when the Hungarian pop singer Karamel gives a concert as the closing act. Well, what has astronomy been like in 1900? An interactive exhibition in Tata in northern Hungary tries to answer that question. They've even reconstructed the workroom of famous Hungarian astronomer Károly Postocki. And the telescopic equipment he used back then can also be tried out by visitors. And that's all for now. But don't forget, you can catch Hungary reports every night after the 11 p.m. news and online as always. Please stick around now, if time permits, for our other shows in German, Russian, and Chinese. Thanks very much for watching, and minden jót.